What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's conversation is with the aspiring pro golfer Thienna Huynh. She's a nationally ranked amateur and currently a freshman member of the UNLV golf team. As an avid golfer myself, when I was presented the opportunity to look behind the curtain of competitive junior golf, well, I was intrigued. Sometimes you meet someone that you just get that feeling that they have the it factor. You can decide for yourself, but I think she's got it. Let's jump in. Yeah, so Mizuno.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did that happen?
So I guess like just one of the interns reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I'm one of the people on the team. Would you be interested in doing this and this? Like soft goods, clubs?" And then at the time I didn't really know who he was, so I was like, "Is this a scam or is he real?" But the guy Josh, set me up with everything, like club fitting, sent me hats, shirts, balls, like anything that I wanted. Gloves too, like anything that I wanted, he just gave it to me. And because their main headquarters and factory is in Atlanta area, it was easy for me to like get anything that I wanted.
Do you think they went after you because you were local? Is that part of it, or
I don't think so.
It just happened to be?
Yeah, I just happened to be, because I know one of the Carter, who's at our club at Berkeley Hills, he's also under Mizuno too, like the same thing as I'm doing. I know a couple girls from like Virginia that are doing it, Florida. So I mean, I think they're mainly targeting junior players or like in their senior year, and then mainly college players.
Does your school have their own club deal, or what happens at school?
Yeah, so UNLV is under PXG, so our bags are PXG. We do have like special fitters with PXG, but I mean, honestly, I think this is kind of specific to our program. Not a lot of schools do this, but any clubs that we want that we know that fits us well, she'll set a time for us to do that, to do our fitting with those people, like Titleist or Callaway, and then she'll cover the cost. Yeah. So that's like, I didn't know this. I thought every like big school does this, but some schools that you think that are in Power 5, they actually don't cover that. They only give you like a percentage.
Really?
Yeah.
So UNLV specifically takes care of their players with clubs.
Oh yeah. Any equipment that you want, any balls, clubs, bags, head covers, anything.
Are you going to be playing Mizuno balls?
I think I'm going to try it out because
they're free.
Yes. Yes. I'm definitely going to try it out but I just really I play Pro V1X and since I started using that ball, it's been great for me. Do
you like it? You don't like the Pro V1 that's a little bit softer? My experience is a little clickier.
Is it? For me, it's I'm a person that I need more spin to it. I don't need low spin, and so the Pro V1X kind of helps that. Like especially when I hit like 50-yard, 40-yard chips, it just spins and it's really good. Okay, that's when it works for me.
Interesting. Well, awesome to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
this is so cool.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
When you said like I do it, I'm like, okay, I'm game.
Really?
Of course, why not? I think my goal is I want to talk to people that I want to talk to, and if I feel like I can learn something from you, then I feel like other people can learn as well. And that's really how I decide who I interview, who I speak with. We haven't put anything up yet, but I have like 5 or 6 pre-recorded. I'm going to get to a few more. And then once I have enough, then I'm going to start putting them out on a schedule. Yeah. But we've had really interesting conversations with all different types of people. Yeah. Okay. So quick warm up. You ready?
Yeah.
Would you rather have the first tee time or would you rather play in twilight?
First tee time.
Why?
I think everything leading up to the tee time sucks. Like trying to go to bed early and waking up really early. But like once you're done with your round around like 11, 12, you have the rest of the day. Like once you hit a certain time, like teeing off at 2, you have like you're dedicating your whole entire day for golf, and it's like you don't really want that. You want time to relax.
Would you rather walk or take a cart?
Take a cart.
Take a cart. Did you have to walk in all your competitive rounds?
Yes.
Have to.
Yes.
And you carry or push?
I prefer to carry. I think it's just mentally it's better for me. If it's a 36 round, if it's a 36 whole day, I will push the first round, but then carry the second round.
You don't feel the fatigue like in your legs later on, or it's just you prefer it?
I think I just prefer it because when I push, you feel like you're not as tired, and so you start hitting it waywards in both directions. But when you carry it, like at least you know, like you have to go in the middle of the fairway. You just want to walk in one direction.
Because you don't. There's no room for error because you don't want to go all the way off.
Yeah.
If you're on the first cut around the green, would you rather chip or putt?
Putt.
Always?
Majority of the time. I trust my putting more than my chipping.
If you're playing a friendly round with some friends, do you guys take breakfast balls?
No.
Never.
Never. I didn't even know breakfast balls were a thing until I started playing with like my uncles.
Yeah, and they're like, breakfast ball, and you're like, what the hell is that?
Oh, no, we're not doing breakfast balls.
There's no error.
No.
None.
No.
You're ruthless. You got 10 minutes before a tee time. Would you rather putt or hit some balls at the range?
10 minutes before my tee time?
All you got is 10 minutes.
I'm hitting balls.
Hitting balls?
Yeah.
Favorite PGA player?
PGA? I would probably Colin.
Colin?
Yeah, he's a really good iron player.
Yeah.
I love like professional golfers who are really good at their iron play.
The ball striking.
Yeah.
Favorite LPGA player?
Minjee Lee. Like,
that was quick.
Yeah. Oh, I love her.
Really?
Yeah. I think her, like, I want her game. Everything about her game is just so solid, so clean. And then, I don't know, did you see her stats for, like, how close she hits it?
No.
It's, like, the most insane stats. Like, if it's, 100 yards to 125, she'll hit it within 10 feet.
Really?
Yes.
So
and then...
obviously she can play. I mean,
yeah.
And her brother can play.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty fun combo to watch.
Oh, yeah. And, or like 175 to 200, she'll hit it inside 30 feet.
So that's what you like the ball striking.
Yeah.
Because I see you at the range all the time. You love to hit balls. You're right. You're a range rat. You love hitting balls.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I think we just happen to cross paths at the range.
At that same time, all the time, every day.
Yeah. I like to spend a lot of time on putting. I think when you hit it that close to the hole, you're giving yourself like so much easier looks at birdie. And like being good at putting will come with that. But you're not going to 3-putt from like 10 feet unless it's like you're going nuts.
Favorite major?
Major? Oh my gosh. I actually really like US Open.
Okay.
Yeah.
Over the Masters?
I think so.
Okay, that's whatever you decide. What's your lowest score?
My lowest score? I'm pretty sure it's 66.
66. In a tournament?
In a tournament, yeah.
Does it count if it wasn't in a tournament for you?
No.
No.
I don't think so.
Hole-in-ones. How many?
One. Only one.
In a tournament?
Yes.
In active tournament?
Yes.
What happened?
It was at the Legends of Chateau. It was number 13 or 14. It was around like the middle of the back nine.
Is that the Augusta one?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was downhill. It was around like maybe like 140. I hit an 8 iron. and it was like going straight at the flag. It hit the pin, but the thing is that my mom didn't see it because she can't follow the ball. The other moms didn't see it. The other girls on my team were like, I think it went in, but I don't know. So like so I didn't know if it actually went in or like shot in the water, like. And so then I walked down there and I asked my mom, I was like, "Where's my ball?" And she was like, "Oh, it's like on the other side of the green." It was like, it looked like a good shot. Yeah. Then I walked up there, see my ball in the hole. And it's like, this is the most anticlimactic hole-in-one I've ever had.
Yeah. you didn't have the big celebration.
No.
Of I have one. And the only one I ever made, it was on an elevated green. So I didn't get to see the ball go in either. So I get up to the green and I'm like, where's my ball? And I'm looking for it. And then finally I realize it's in the hole. I'm like, oh, like I didn't get the celebration.
Yeah.
And it's too late to celebrate now.
Yeah, because it's so awkward. Like, you're just sitting there and then you're like, you pick it up and you're like, and then what if you...
Yeah, what do you do? Other people have to putt. Yeah. There's other things going on. And I don't know. I wish I would have seen mine gone in. I'm sure you're the same.
Yeah, I think I just blinked and then I couldn't see it.
So if someone makes a hole-in-one at a par 3 course, does it count?
I think so, yeah.
It's not like a real course.
I think a hole-in-one will, like, a hole-in-one's a hole-in-one.
Hole-in-one's a hole-in-one?
Yeah.
Regardless. So, as you know, I recently had a daughter. And I want her to play golf. Which is why when I had this opportunity to ask you all these questions, I was like, I want to ask you questions.
Yeah.
Because I have so many.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I want her to play golf. I think it's good for her. I think it's good for girls growing up to have that sport. And I think golf's a really good one.
Yes.
Helps you focus.
Yes.
Helps you learn to be around adults. Every golfer, and we have a lot of young golfers at our course, right?
Yes.
And every single one of them is very well put together, very smart.
Yeah.
Very confident. And it's eerie because when I compare it to, say, other teenagers that are not at the golf course, it's like night and day.
Yes, I completely agree.
How early did you start playing golf?
From my earliest memory, had to be like 3 or 4. Like, I was out there with my dad, just being in that environment, just like hitting balls, seeing like other kids too play golf. That was like I was really young.
Do you think that was too young? Or do you wish you started even younger?
I think for me, like with my path, I was considered late in the game to start competing. So I didn't play tournaments until I was 10. There are girls...
And that's considered late.
Yes. There are so many girls that I know that started when they were like 6, playing tournaments when they were 6. Like, to me, I would have shot like horrible scores when I was 6, just because at the time I didn't know what I wanted. It's just like a game to me. Like, I mean, obviously it is a game, but it's just like a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
But I didn't actually start taking like lessons until I was 6, getting better, marginally better with like my swing, learning how to control myself until I was 10.
Who taught you how to play golf?
My dad in the beginning. And then once I was able to get around the green, that's when we started going to an actual coach.
Do you wish you had a coach earlier, or do you like that your dad started you out?
I think it was good that my dad started me out. I think it takes a certain personality though, because there are people who you just can't teach. And then there are people that will listen. Like my younger brother, he's 13 now. When he was 6, he was so good, better than me when I was 6. But he's just a very stubborn guy, and it was impossible to teach him. So that's why he doesn't play golf.
He doesn't play at all.
No.
Just completely, or completely doesn't play, or
he'll like go out there and hit balls with my dad, but it's just not the same. Or like the same thing with my sister who's 10. She gets really frustrated. She gets really upset, and she just doesn't play because you can't teach her. It's hard to teach.
So you're pretty accomplished for a junior golfer, and you're a junior golfer here in Georgia, right? You recently won the four ball, the USGA Women's Amateur Four Ball. I think I said that right.
Yeah.
Which is a really big deal.
Yeah.
I saw an interview that you did. I looked it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And your name is engraved in the hallway with other US Open champions.
Yes.
Which is maybe why you think the US Open is the best major.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But that's pretty damn cool. You've played all over the country.
Yeah, I have.
What is that like growing up playing tournament golf?
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of commitment, and it's hard to, I think one of the hardest things is that you have to accept that sometimes you can't hang out with your friends because you're going to be in a tournament. For me, since middle school, I've had FOMO. Like, I wanted to hang out with my friends. I wanted to do things, but I couldn't because I had to go play a tournament. And looking back, it's fine now because I could always like hang out with my friends because they were at home. And I think like once I was able to reach a certain rank, I can like pick and choose what tournaments to play. So if I had like my friend's birthday party at a tournament, that I can go to the birthday party and play another tournament later. But tournament golf is hard because you really have to be on top of schoolwork too. During my freshman year of high school, I missed I would go for like a week without school because that whole tournament takes the whole week. And just not learning how to prioritize your schoolwork is hard enough, but then having on top of that not being at school and making sure that your scores still have, like your test scores for school still have to be good enough to get into college. Like you can't just sacrifice school for golf.
Do you feel like you've missed out on a normal childhood?
No, not anymore. I think
you did.
I think I used to think so until I graduated high school.
Got older and more mature.
Yeah. Because so I started doing online school from my sophomore year up until I graduated.
Okay.
Because I missed so many days. Like it was just so hard to keep up with the schoolwork, doing so much makeup work and not understanding the material. So I switched over to online school to kind of take my work on the road. And it was kind of frustrating seeing like all my friends go to homecoming or prom because my online school didn't have that and I wanted to go with friends.
So you didn't go to homecoming or prom?
So I didn't go to my homecoming or prom until my senior year of high school.
And then where'd you go to prom then?
I went with my home high school that I was originally supposed to go to, Parkview. I went with my school friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got to do at least a little bit.
A little bit, but not like everyone else.
You didn't get to do some high school raging like maybe some of your other peers may have done.
In a way, I mean, in high school, I never really I never partied. Even in college, I haven't partied. I feel like I don't miss out on that stuff, but just like maybe my friends and I wanted to go get cookout at like 9 p.m. But I couldn't do that because I was leaving for a tournament the next day or I had something to do the next day. So I couldn't do that. But once I got into senior year of high school where my parents were like, okay, you're going so far away from home. You're not going to see your friends. You can do whatever you want. Just go ahead.
When I first saw you at the range, at the course, your dad used to be just always right there.
Yes.
And in that, because I've known you maybe a little bit over a year, year and a half. And in that short period of time, your dad being right behind you all the time noticeably was further away.
Yes.
Was that a conscious decision? Is that something you guys discussed? How do you transition from always there to like, hey, get back?
Yeah, so my dad and I actually had like a really big fight around like 2 years ago about it. It was during my recruiting. I wasn't playing well. And I think just like the combination of just being constantly frustrated with like my golf game not going well. And we were spending too much time together, I think. Like, to me, in my perspective, he was like nitpicking everything about my swing. And I was just getting really angry. And then like we got into a really big fight where we didn't talk to each other for like 2 weeks. Like we did not say anything to each other. Like I drove myself to the course. I was by myself. I told him like you being here just stresses me out and I can't do it. Funny enough, we've actually never talked about it since then. Like,
just kind of accepted that it is, or what do you think that was?
I think I genuinely don't know what my dad feels about it, like, or how my dad feels about it, because in my from what I remember, my mom would always explain to me how he felt, but I don't know if she ever told him how I felt about it.
I'm sure they did.
I'm sure she did, but it just felt like my mom wasn't supporting me at the time. She probably definitely was, but I didn't know. I was like 2 years ago. I was like 17, still in my junior year of high school. And so I think he started to realize that in order for us to actually get along, there needs to be some sort of like time in between for us to talk. Because if he's always there, he sees everything that I do, there's nothing to talk about.
You guys spent the majority of your early age and all through high school traveling the country together.
Yeah.
You traveled mostly with your dad?
Or it was always with my dad.
Always with your dad?
It was
just
always,
the two of you?
Yeah.
What is that like?
When I was younger, it was pretty hard.
Why?
I don't know. I think it was just me being immature and I didn't really understand. But I think also my dad didn't understand what it was like to play golf at a pretty high level like that.
Because he's a golfer, but he didn't grow up playing golf.
No.
Yeah, he learned later in life, like I learned later in life.
Yeah, he learned a lot later because he's an immigrant. Like he wasn't able to start playing golf until he had like that money to start playing. Unlike me, where I was just, here's some golf clubs. You want to try it out? Yeah,
here's 3 years old. Play some golf.
Yeah. And it's like we literally, like we were spending all of my time together. Like my dad kind of cut his work schedule in order to come with me to golf tournaments.
And that can't be easy either. As a grown man to follow his daughter around and almost give up a lot of what he has to do in his life in order to support your goal and your dream. Yeah. So there's something to that. Yeah. It's not easy.
Yeah. He stopped working as much. Like he only works 2 days a week. He stopped playing golf so that I was able to play golf. Like to make sure that I was like doing what I was supposed to be doing. But then, like, once we kind of had that fight, I think he realized that he needed to, like, step away from a little bit and just at least let me figure it out myself and tell him what's wrong. Because also at the time, I had swing issues where, like, just wasn't me. Like, it wasn't working with my body, and I was getting frustrated with it. And I didn't understand why. And he thought he knew the answer, but he didn't. And sometimes, like, it takes another person, like another party, to tell you how to fix something in a different way for it to make sense.
So who'd you work with to kind of get that worked out? Because obviously you've turned your game around. You've been playing pretty well, it looks like.
I try.
What made that change? Or who was that change?
I started working with Richard.
Okay.
With Swifty, our head pro at Berkeley. He helped me a lot and like with technical swing issues, and then I started seeing a mental game coach that turned my game around like 180. It was crazy.
What did you learn there, and what is that experience like?
I think it was more of the reassurance that what I was thinking was okay to think. Because a lot of people say like, oh, don't be negative. Well, how do you know not to be negative when that's kind of all you know? Or like, I was never really a negative person to begin with, but let's say like you're allowed to feel frustrated. Like you're allowed to feel the way that you feel when on the course. Like no one should tell you you shouldn't be like that because it's unprofessional. But like my mental game coach, he told me that you can still play your best golf with a C game instead of your A game. You just have to learn how to manage it. And then he gave me the steps to manage it. And it goes into your subconscious. Like you're not actually thinking about it when you play golf. But it was, I mean, I don't know. It was just a very weird thing to learn about, but it was very helpful.
Mental coach. That's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
How did you even consider to go find one, or that would be the answer? I mean, who was like, hey, maybe we should go look at a mental coach? I mean, where does that even come from?
My other swing coach that I have that I've been seeing since I was 10. Like this guy has helped Chad. His name is Chad. He helped me with the development of my game when I was like really young. And he had a lot of connections with different people. And he said, I think you need to look at a mental game coach for you to take it to the next level. And I mean, it's crazy how like one little thing can just turn it around. Because I also started seeing that mental game coach when me and my dad were having problems. So it was also like a built-in therapist. Yeah.
And it helped you deal with kind of all the anxiety of golf.
Yeah.
I'm assuming as a young golfer in traveling the country, playing tournaments everywhere, traveling with your dad 24/7, it's a lot to put on your shoulders.
Yeah.
And how to deal with that, how to navigate that, especially at such a young age. I don't think there's a lot of people, I'm assuming, that try to go down that road and don't survive that. It's heavy.
Yeah, it is. I think it helps to have good friends that not only know what you're going through, like having really good golf friends help, but also having normal friends, because you need a balance of both. Like you can't just have just normal friends, because then they don't understand what it's like to be in a tournament setting. They can only just tell you, hey, like you're going to be fine, you're good, but they don't actually know how good you are, versus like the golf friends that I have that understand what you're going through. They know the process that in order for you to get to where you want to be. So having good friends, in my opinion, helped me stay like grounded and committed.
What's the breakdown, or what's the percentage of golf friends versus non-golf friends? Who do you call first?
My non-golf friends.
You call your non-golf friends first.
Yeah.
Even if you have a good round or you have a good tournament, you're calling your non-golf friends to celebrate? Or are you calling...
I think...
someone that understands what that means.
I feel like it's a 50-50 though. Like because my non-golf friends actually keep up with what I do very often, as much as a golf friend does. So, I mean, to me, it's like a 50-50. It's kind of hard to tell. Depends. I think usually like whatever friends you have will see your accomplishments and they'll keep up. So it doesn't really matter.
And they'll be happy for you regardless.
Yeah.
So you're a freshman at UNLV.
Yes.
Why did you choose to go all the way out there? I'm assuming you had offers and you had the ability to go to other schools also.
Yeah.
Where else were you looking at first?
Oh my gosh. It was like, there were so many schools that I was looking at. Firstly, I made a lot of mistakes in recruiting. Like a lot of people have asked me, like, why did you choose UNLV? Like, why there? And to me, compared to other people that I knew, I made so many mistakes. I didn't email schools before the time that we were allowed to talk to coaches. I didn't know what I was doing. I kept all my eggs in one basket. So when I was talking to one school and they would drop me, then I have to restart the whole process again, and then put all my eggs into one basket for another school. And then that just kept screwing me over because all these spots were filled up. So I didn't contact UNLV until maybe 2 months before signing. I looked at UGA, Michigan State, Purdue, UTSA, Houston, UNC, Tennessee. I was looking at a lot of schools.
A lot of schools.
Yeah.
But why then UNLV? How did it end up that's where you end up going?
I received a really good offer from UNLV. It helps financially to have like that freedom where you don't have to worry about anything, especially for my parents too, because my parents also have 2 other kids to worry about. So I think knowing that they don't have to pay for my college is great for them. The golf out in Vegas is crazy.
Phenomenal.
It's amazing. You can't find, honestly, to me, you can't find anything better. Like, I can practice at 5 different courses anywhere I want. I can call them. I call the pro shop, ask them, hey, can I come practice? And they'll say, yeah, come out.
What's your favorite course in Vegas right now?
I really like Dragon Ridge.
Which one? I don't know that one.
That one's in Henderson.
Okay.
It's near Rio Seco, near Butch Harmon's school. Dragon Ridge is a really nice course.
Worth it?
I think so.
Vegas golf is really expensive. Ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, I think it's overpriced, personally. I think it's like the name of like, oh, some of these celebrities were here, like the Summit. Like, you're paying for the experience of like a valet and, not tipping people. And all these like big country singers are there. I think a lot of the courses are very overpriced though. I
mean, in Vegas, you're talking anywhere from $200 to $1,000 a round, which is just insane for a round of golf, I think. Yeah. But we also live and play in Georgia, where golf is really affordable compared to a lot of the country. South Florida is not cheap either.
No, it's not. That's why I love Atlanta though. Like we have access to these really great courses within an hour of each other, and they're at really good prices. And most of the time, the conditions are great. Yeah. They're really good.
And you can play pretty much all year round.
I really think you can play golf year round in Georgia.
Maybe a couple weeks off when it's maybe a little bit too cold.
Yeah. But like really. A couple weeks doesn't hurt compared to like 6 months out of the year.
I haven't played golf in maybe 2 months. I played once. I was in Miami during Christmas week, and I played a little bit in Miami. But other than that, I haven't played. I had a new baby, and I thought that once I have a baby, I'm going to play so much golf because I'm going to be around home. Yeah. And I think the first like month after the baby came out, I was at the golf course all the time because the baby just sleeps. Yeah. But now that she's awake, it's really hard to get out with the days being shorter. Yeah. It's hard to be out there. Get out there and play. Yeah. But I want to. I love to play golf. I think it's the best game. It's a game that you can play for the rest of your life. And it's the only one. Yeah. And you can play with your dad, which is crazy. Like you can play multi-generationally. What other sports are there where you can play across generations?
Pickleball.
Pickleball is getting huge.
I know.
Everyone's playing.
Have you tried it?
I haven't yet. Is it fun?
Oh, it's fun. Because it's not like tennis where you have to be like running around everywhere. But it's enough to where you can keep up with someone who like just started playing. Yeah. It's actually really fun. I like it.
You recommend it?
I mean, if you're not as athletic as me, yeah, I think so.
Have you played other sports?
No.
Do you wish you played other sports? I had the same conversation with Hannah at the golf course. Have you played with her yet?
I have not.
You should. She's a very good golfer, obviously. Did very well in her career. And she had mentioned to me that she wished she had played other sports growing up because she only played golf. Yeah. And she feels as though if she did something like basketball or volleyball, she would have stronger legs, stronger core, and she'd be able to use the ground better and hit the ball further because she's not a long hitter.
Yeah.
And she always said that I wish I would have played other sports.
So it's actually crazy that you say that because I had a discussion with one of my friends who did play basketball in high school, middle school, high school, and he was pretty good at it too. He actually has trouble using his feet when he plays golf.
Really?
Yeah. There's some weird science behind it. I don't exactly know the details, but there's a difference between like vertical jumping, like basketball and volleyball, versus golf. It seems like it's vertical, but you're actually having to learn how to shift and move your body horizontally. So I think that's pretty interesting. Like he has a lot trouble with footwork all the time. Yeah. And then
so you don't think another sport would have helped you?
I don't think so. I think knowing that I was committed to golf and
only golf,
my body is like for a golfer,
built for golf.
Yeah. Like I don't know how my body would be if I played tennis or soccer. I'm kind of glad I didn't play other sports though. I think I would have been really confused and not as I don't think I would have been as good as I would be with golf if I played other sports. I would be too confused with what I want to do.
Because golf is becoming more athletic every day.
Yes.
The kids, especially the boys, hanging out at the golf course, the high school kids, they hit the ball a mile. Longer than PGA guys, they hit it.
Yes.
They hit it. I mean, you're talking 220-yard 7-irons.
Yes.
These kids. It's crazy now. So the game has changed.
Yeah.
It's not like it used to be where people would chip 7-iron 150 yards. I mean, 220.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played with one of my really good friends, Aiden Tran, who plays for Georgia Tech. Great golfer. Like he's one of probably the best golfers I've ever met. And watching him play and the differences between like women's golf and men's golf is so vast.
Guys have figured out how to hit the ball just ridiculous distances, but it doesn't help the short game.
Yeah.
Girls have better short game. Yes or no?
I think so.
Better putters? Is it the feel? Is it the touch? Why are girls better at short game? Because LPGA girls can hang with PGA boys.
Absolutely.
As far as short game. Yeah. Obviously can't hit it as far.
Yeah.
But
I think what it is that guys are a lot more creative, but they also hit very they hit insane shots. And they'll hit it so far where they go through the fairway and they have to learn how to scramble. With girls, you know, like we obviously hit shorter distances, so we can hit fairways. And then if we happen to miss the green, it's easier for us to learn how to control our shots. Like we're not just powering through it like guys do.
Guys have to play more recovery golf.
Yes.
And have more creativity in approach shots.
I think so.
Versus girls are typically in and around the green in regulation always.
Yes.
So they're using more short game because they're just there.
Yeah, I think so. Like when we played yesterday, he on number 3 on Berkeley, even when you're playing for the tips, if you hit it too far, you can't hit a driver because you're going to go through the trees in the back. And that's like 300 yards. Yeah. He hit it to the trees in the back. And then I was sitting there and I was like, so are you going to lay up? And he was like, why would I lay up? It's only like 220. Yeah. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Takes a 5-iron and he makes it on the green. And it's like, what the heck? Like it just makes golf so much easier. Yeah. And then what I had to do was like, I didn't even make it to the, what is it? I didn't even make it to the bunker. Hit a 4-iron to get like a comfortable 40-yard shot, and then made it like a 6-footer for birdie while he 2-putted for birdie. And
that's a really tricky par 5. People think that hole is easy because it's not long, but guys can drive that water. Which is very difficult. Everything slopes right to left, and that green
It's
at
so
the end
small.
is tiny.
It's so tiny.
Out of bounds left, out of bounds long, water short,
Yeah.
out of bounds right.
Yeah.
That is a tiny green to hit.
And if you hit in that bunker,
There's no room for error.
Yeah.
And that bunker is dead.
yeah.
There's no recovery from that
and
bunker.
then with the new greens, everything's so fast and it slopes towards the water.
Yeah.
Even if you like manage to pick it out of the bunker,
you
you're
have to
going
land
to the water.
it just at the edge and
Yeah.
hope for the best.
Yeah.
It's such a tough bunker.
Yeah.
Toughest bunker shot at the course, I think.
But then, we play with the amateur guys out there, and like they play like me, but like because they don't hit it as far. But then playing with the high level golfer from Georgia Tech, where they're ranked top 20 for a reason, it's different golf.
Yeah. They're not playing the same game.
No,
He's not playing the same game I'm playing. I'm trying
he's
to
not
just,
playing the same game I'm playing.
I'm just trying to not hit into that water, make sure I don't hit into the water with my second, ride the slope, and cheat a little bit.
The little foot wedge out there.
Yeah. And then just get up and down, and if I can make birdie, like so happy. If not, call it a par and move on. Pick up as fast as I can in that hole, because that's such a dangerous hole.
It is. Yeah.
I've had so many rounds messed up early because of that
hole.
Because of that hole.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people in kind of the scrambles. Everyone plays well. They get to that hole, and then both partners like shoot 3 over, 4 over on that hole.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
To just make a big mistake.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with golf is like you can't turn off your brain. Even when you're playing really easy courses, straightforward courses, anyone who tells me, oh yeah, this course is easy, this course, like you got it, 75, 76, I just mess up because you're saying like, oh yeah, like you shouldn't be messing up, but then you do.
Would you rather play fast greens or a course that is tighter if you had to choose? Like how do you like your layout of a course be as far as difficulty? What do you like?
I like fast greens. I don't do well with slow greens.
Bermuda? Do you like the Bermuda versus what do they play in
Vegas? God, I couldn't tell you. I don't really know. I think because there's just so much different types of grass. Just that we don't have been out there because I think it's too hot. Like it just burns the grass. I like fast greens, and I like courses that are a little tight. I don't like wide open because I think with tighter fairways you can like pick a place to aim and then hit it there. When it's wide open, there's too much going on. Like you think, oh, just hit in the fairway, but then you hit it like in the trees.
You think because the course we play at the same course. The course we play is a very tight course.
Yeah.
It's a very tough course.
Yes.
I've never seen someone show up at the course because yardage-wise, it's not overly long.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, this is going to be easy course. And they show up like, no, I'm telling you, man, you're going to have a hard time.
Yeah.
You think that's a part of why you like that layout? Because that's what you're used to?
I think so. I think so. Because with Berkeley Hills, you can be very creative with the type of shots, and you can practice any shots that you want out there. When it's a straightforward course, you can't do a lot, and so when you show up to other places, it's hard for you to adjust to that.
And at Berkeley, you're almost forced to work the ball.
Yes,
I
think so.
You can't just have one stock shot and do well there. You have to be able to move left and right and left.
Yeah, I think so.
And the fairways force you to make those decisions, or you end up in tough spots where you have no approach.
Yeah, because of how many dog legs there were. Like my friend Aiden did not like that course because of the dog legs.
Because he likes to hit the ball long.
Yeah.
In which case it's difficult.
Yeah.
Because you can't overpower that course.
No.
There's no like I'm just gonna bomb it.
Finesse every single shot that you
show
have.
the course some respect.
Yeah.
I like old school courses for that reason.
I do too. I like those courses where the green is right next to the next tee.
Yeah, you don't have to walk as far.
Not a mile out there.
Yeah.
Because in college, especially out west, that's what, I mean, every single course is like that. It's such a long walk to get to the next tee. Because it's new. Like, it's relatively new. Like,
and mostly built around subdivisions and houses.
Yeah.
So
and then,
long walks too.
God, yeah, it's horrible.
And then you still have to walk.
Sometimes.
Do they give you carts sometimes if there are long walks? Because it could slow down the game, right?
Yeah. Luckily, our coach lets us ride carts because like no one wants to be out there in 95-degree weather carrying their bag. It's just, and then we're trying to get out there beating the sun. It's just not worth the time to walk. But I think that kind of bites us in the ass a little bit because then we're not really fit enough. That's why I try to carry my bag as much as possible. That's why I don't push anymore.
For fitness.
Yeah.
I have a hard time playing in Florida because in Florida, it's just wide open, avoid the water, and you hit in a general direction.
Yes.
Whereas in Georgia, the trees tell you what you need to do.
Yeah.
So when I get to Florida and they're like, oh, yeah, you see that little water tower over there? That's your line. I'm like, I don't see it. I see the water tower.
I see it, but I don't see
I don't visually see it.
Yeah.
You know, it's very difficult for me. It's hard for me to like imagine what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
But in Georgia, I'm like, okay, I see the dog leg.
Yeah.
I see the trees and I don't even think, okay, I have to hit a draw. I'm just there. And I know my body knows I need to hit a draw.
Yeah.
It's difficult. How was Vegas like?
It's very dry and the ball just flies because it's so dry. Course when it rains though, courses don't really drain well because there's no irrigation system. It's actually very wide open, which kind of like I was not used to that when I first came there. Like during I didn't even make the lineup the first tournament because I wasn't used to those kinds of golf courses. I didn't have a practice round. I never even played golf more out west past Texas. Like Texas was the furthest west I've ever been to, and I didn't know how to play golf, desert golf.
You didn't try the courses before you committed?
No.
Do you wish you did? Do you wish you knew what desert golf was like before you committed to a career of desert golf?
I feel like because I managed pretty well with my first semester, no. But I think at the time, to save the tears, yes. Because that first qualifier that we did, I was like so stressed, crying all the time because I mean, I was by myself. I've never played this kind of golf before, and I wasn't playing well. Like, I shot the first qualifiers, I shot 77, 78, 72. Like, it was horrible.
Yeah. But you figured it out?
Yeah. I honestly haven't done qualifying since that first tournament because I think I was so traumatized from that first time. I kept wanting to be in the position where I could be exempt into the next event and then the next event. So I would place in a certain like top 25, top 20 or top 18 and get that exemption into the next tournament.
How many girls are on your golf team?
Right now we have 10.
And when in collegiate golf, it's my understanding. I didn't play collegiate golf, so I don't know. But I watched a little bit, and I've been watching more ever since you joined the collegiate golf rank because every once in a while they play it on TV.
Yeah.
More and more than they used to.
Yeah.
The way the format is, it's very different.
Yeah, it is.
Not everyone gets to play.
No.
So you have to compete within your own team for the opportunity to compete against other schools. Is that how that works?
Yes. It's brutal. I think that's why you see a lot of junior golfers who were really good kind of not be good anymore in college because it's not on their time anymore. It's on coach's time. Like your schedule is on coach's time. Whatever, like whoever plays, it's technically on coach. If you have a really good coach that will play it straight, then you got pretty lucky. But there are a lot of coaches who just don't even do qualifying, or they do like top 2 and then coaches pick. Then it's kind of to me, I think it's unfair because when you're grinding it out in qualifying and then you end up not going, there are people like me who just don't do very well in qualifying, but then when you get to the tournament, they perform really well. And then there are people who do great in qualifying because they know those courses, but then once they travel, they won't play very well either.
They don't do as well under that specific type of pressure.
Yeah.
So is there a level of competition amongst your teammates? Like how cutthroat is that competition?
For us personally,
because you're competing with each other for playing time.
Yeah. I think in the beginning of the year there was, but then once you get a certain point, like you kind of know who's going to be playing and who's not, like who's going to be more consistent. It becomes very casual. Like the girls on my team are great. Like once, like they're not too competitive to where like we're beefing all the time, but they keep up the competition to where, okay, you know, you still have to perform. I know other teams where they're very competitive though because of their coach. Like they'll play really well in qualifying, but then their coach doesn't pick them and they pick someone else that shouldn't really be on the lineup. And I think part of the reason why women's golf in college is so hard, or women's sports in college, is because there are people who deserve to be on the lineup, but then they just don't get put on it. And then it creates animosity between the people.
What do you think that is?
What do you mean? Meaning,
why are girls that you feel as though are qualified or should be playing not playing? Why would they get benched?
Why?
Politics?
I think part of it is politics. I think part of it is coach doesn't know what they're doing. That has never happened on my team so far. Like I don't know that. I can't speak on that for my personal experience, but from what I've seen with like my other friends, like there are coaches that they just don't want you to play. They want someone else to play. And then it sucks because you try so hard, and for what? To stay at home. And I think that's the reason why so many people are transferring like to different schools.
Playing time.
Yeah. Like you, in order to get better, you have to go to a school where you can play. That's what I think.
You need to get the competitive rounds in.
Yes, absolutely.
Because golf pressure is a different level of pressure.
Yeah.
Where everyone's stopped and there's nobody that can help you.
No.
When you need to make a 10-footer, there's no bailing out.
It's all you.
Yeah.
And I think another thing too is attitude. Like if you could be a really good player, but if you have an attitude to where like no one wants to be around you, you're not gonna play because no one wants to be around that. Like I know some people who just aren't, not on my team, but like who are not very great golfers, but they're good to travel with because they bring up the team. Yeah.
So do you enjoy, because before college, it was not much team golf, although you did a couple of 4-balls. And that's kind of team ball-y.
Team ball-y, but that's like your best friend that you're playing with. So, I mean, it's a little different.
Now you go into college golf, which is team golf. What's that transition been like?
It was kind of hard because for my personal experience, I didn't really know the girls on my team. I know a lot of other of my friends went into teams where they had more friends. So for them, the transition was easier. For me, I had a really hard transition. Like it was really difficult. There are going to be girls that you just don't get along with just because you're different people. But then also like you'll see that there are people, like you're going to realize that some people really shouldn't be in college. Like regardless of golf or like academics, some people just shouldn't be in college.
Yeah.
You know? There's going to be people like that. There's going to be people that just grow up completely different. Like a lot of the girls on my team, their parents make almost like $500,000 a year. So the way that they were raised is so much more different than me. Like I grew up, I went to elementary school in Norcross. And
right here.
Yeah.
Not the best area.
Not the best area. Yeah. Then my parents started getting better jobs, and we moved to Lilburn. And even then that was a transition. Then now you're going into, you're playing with people who play golf in Vegas. Like you need to have money to play that, like to play in that area. So being around people that I would just wasn't used to was really hard for me to adjust to.
Because a lot of the golf world and a lot of the people that you play golf with, they come from various backgrounds, like you mentioned. A good percentage of them come from very wealthy backgrounds.
Yeah.
A lot of money. Golf is not cheap.
No.
And then you have the minority of people that just kind of put all their money into it and we're going to figure this out.
Yeah.
Which you're on that side of.
Yes.
Do you think it's better or worse to be on which side?
Obviously it comes down to parenting. I think being on my side where my parents kind of put all of it in and then we were going to figure it out, I think that it makes you appreciate it a lot more. Like golf regardless is a privilege to play. You don't have the right to play it. It's a huge privilege to be able to travel and play. So I mean, I've met girls who come from very wealthy families that are so awesome. Like they're so sweet. But that's also a minority of them. Yeah. A lot of people that I've met are not nice people. They do not understand people who come from poorer backgrounds, quote, poorer backgrounds. Like I've met girls who I've gotten into pretty, like, honestly arguments with because they don't understand that me moving across the country without my parents, by myself, living in a dorm with no car, I have to figure all these stresses out while they live at home. Their parents bought them a car. They have spending money that they were given by their parents. Like, those problems are so different. You know?
I think I think taking the harder road builds character. That makes you a stronger person. That makes you more adaptable to situations. I think in the long run, it's better. Yeah. But while you're going through it, kind of sucks.
It sucks. Yeah.
Trying to grind.
Yeah.
You know, because golf and being competitive is hard already. Yeah. But now you have to deal with so many other external factors at the same time. Yeah. I don't know how you do it.
I didn't know how I'm alive. Not like that. But I mean, I didn't have a car out there. A lot of the money that I spend is my own money that I've saved up or like from sponsorship deals. Like that's my own money. I think the only thing my parents really pay for is my gas because gas is really expensive out in the West. I mean, and also just not having friends out there is making friends at UNLV is kind of difficult in my opinion because it's a commuter school. Like people, the campus life isn't really that alive. Really? Yeah. Like people go to school and they leave because they have to go to work or they go home. It's not like UGA or Georgia Tech where a lot of
everyone lives on
campus. Everyone's kind of on the same page of what they want. So and people are willing to talk. People are more willing to talk to you. At UNLV, people are just there to go to class, and then after they got to dip.
And it's also kind of a Georgia thing where you get used to this idea of community where people help each other. And as you leave Georgia, you realize that the South is still the South. And this is Southern here. Yeah. Regardless of how politics may shift, this is the South. Yeah. It's a lot of good old boys. Yep. Yep. People are friendly. People say hi. Yes. You know, and, you know, thank you, sir. Yes, ma'am. It's a very Georgia thing to do. And I appreciate that. And you lose that when you go west. Yeah. It's not the same over there.
No. Like, I think people have given me weird looks when I open the door for them. They're like they look at me like, why are you opening the door for me? It's like, because I'm already at the door. Like, why would I not? Yeah. You know, like oh my gosh, I specifically remember I was hauling up my golf clubs and another set of clubs to my dorm. I obviously can't open the door. And there's this kid looking at me, goes beside me, opens the other door and doesn't open the door. He just keeps on walking. Yeah. And it's like,
chivalry is dead.
I'm like, excuse me. I'm obviously struggling. Like, you don't want to help me out. Yeah. But I mean, that happens all the time. out there.
It's different in the West.
It's so weird. I think I took the South for granted so much.
Yeah. When you're here, it feels like people are a little bit slower. It feels like there's a little bit less going on.
Yeah.
But then you go out west, you go up north, and you're like, I kind of like it that way. You know?
I miss it when people open the door for me.
It's such little things, right?
Yeah.
Just such a basic things in life.
I miss having good sweet tea.
Yeah.
There's no, like, I asked at the golf course, can I have some sweet tea? And they're like, I have iced tea that you could put sugar in. No. I want my pre-mixed sugar sweet tea.
Yeah. Half a cup of sugar, please.
Yes. I don't want to mix it myself.
Yeah.
I don't know the ratio.
It's mostly sugar.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you miss most about home then while you're out west?
Oh my gosh, everything.
Like?
Water that tastes good. People opening the door. I'm just kidding. In reality, I think I just miss like this sense of community and my friends and my family. Like I don't have anyone out in Vegas. Like I don't have family members out there to help me out. I mean, it's all by myself. Luckily, I have amazing coaches and really great teammates that have helped me out when I was having a hard time. But I mean, there are certain foods that I want to eat, like cookout. I mean, it's like trash food. Doesn't make me feel good the next morning, but I miss having like a whole meal for $7.
Yeah.
I miss $2 gas. But I think I just ultimately miss like my friends and my family.
Do you watch golf YouTube?
Not really.
Not at all?
Not really.
What do you watch? What do you watch on YouTube? What's your YouTube right now?
Horror games and math videos.
Math videos?
Accounting videos.
Accounting videos.
Learning how to do accounting because I'm a business major. I'm majoring in marketing. And so I just want to be able to know what I'm doing in order to do well in school.
Do you watch a lot of golf?
I try to, but
it's slow.
It's not. I don't really have cable. I don't have ESPN, so it's kind of hard for me to watch it. But when I see like the highlights from the PGA Tour, I do watch those.
How much golf content do you consume altogether then? Or is it just not really? Do you watch clips maybe on Instagram or TikTok? I mean, where are you in this golf content? Because golf content became a thing. Before it was barely anything on the internet regarding golf outside of what they showed us. Now I feel like golf TikTok or golf YouTube is just huge.
Yeah. Golf TikTok grew so much since COVID. I think it's because people started to play golf, like get into it. Because I mean, you go outside, it's technically social distancing. Like you don't have to be next to someone to play golf.
And you shouldn't, because you're gonna get hit in the head with a club.
Yeah. So I actually consume a good amount of golf content. Like not from professionals, but just like people who just want to play golf for fun.
Who do you like?
There's not anyone specific that I watch. I think it's
you let the algorithm decide for you.
Yeah. The TikTok algorithm is horrifying.
I know. They know you better than you know yourself.
I saw the video of you talking about Bobby Lee. You know what showed up in my YouTube?
What?
Bobby Lee stand-up videos. Crazy. Or like his podcast.
Yeah.
I don't even watch Bobby Lee.
It just comes up.
It just comes up.
Yeah. They know what you like, and they assume that you would like what they tell you to like if they have you figured out.
Yeah.
And they're pretty damn accurate, which is scary.
I know. That's why when I try to read the notifications where they're like, "Oh, do you want them to know your information?" No.
Yeah.
No.
Means nothing. They do it anyway.
Yeah.
So there is with golf and golf content increasing throughout the country, there's also a huge growth in like female golf influencers.
Yes.
Girls that aren't necessarily golfers.
Yes.
But they create immense amounts of golf content.
Yeah.
You have girls like Paige Spirnick, I think her last name, who's considered the biggest golf influencer out there. Girls like her.
Yeah.
As a young girl, what do you think about them?
I mean, get the bag. You're doing better than me. At least you're making money. But I think, I mean, those, like, people like her and people like me, we have two different goals. I'm not going to put down a girl who wants to do that because, I mean, again, she's making money. She knows who she's catering to, which are mainly men, and men do play golf. Like, middle-aged men are the main consumers of golf. So, I mean, she knows what she's doing. For me, I want to play professional. I want to be known as that person that made history by playing really good golf. Like, I couldn't be that kind of person like her, but I'm not going to put her down. I think if that's something that you want to do, then go ahead. But people need to understand that a person like me who's trying to go pro and needs to keep a professional image, we are, like, her and I are just not the same. I don't think there's anyone that's better. I think that's very subjective. But I don't want to be put in the same category as her.
Do you think her, and I say her because she's the biggest, not to pick on her.
Yeah.
But do you think that is negatively influencing possible new girls that are going into golf? Because golf is, I go to a golf course and it's 90% men.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Maybe if you go to resort golf, you'll see groups of girls a little bit more these days, but not really.
Yeah.
It's mostly guys.
Yeah. I think teenage girls, if they want to do that, they can. I don't think it's negatively impacting young girls. I think it might negatively impact the image of how men perceive women. Yeah. But again, like, she knows who she's catering to, and she knows where she's getting her money from. So good for her. Like, she's doing what she wants to do. But like, young girls who want to play golf, I think they mainly see the PGA and LPGA. They don't see her. And also, like, if you're 10, you should not be on TikTok. You should not be seeing those kinds of people.
Yeah.
You know, like parents, you got to watch what your kids are watching online.
So then how much did your parents and your dad specifically control what you consumed online?
I had no censorship when I was younger. So there were things that I knew that were not good, and I didn't want to get in trouble, so I just didn't watch it.
Yeah.
But I know people who just did not have like censorship online, and it definitely reflects on how they are as a person. Like, they are desensitized to so many things. Like, yeah, like, they just should not be. They should not be watching that when they're like 9 years old or 10 years old.
Too young.
Yeah.
We mentioned PGA, LPGA. Do you have an opinion on LIV Golf?
Okay. So I actually went to go see a LIV event when we were in Miami for a golf tournament.
Okay, so you went at Doral, and that's where I recently played.
Really?
Yeah, we played at Blue Monster.
Did you like that?
My cousin is a member there.
Oh, really?
So I go play every time I'm in Miami, and I love that course.
Yeah, it's a great course.
It's so difficult.
Is it?
Oh, Blue Monster may be one of the toughest courses I've ever played.
Really?
Because the rough is 3 inches.
The rough is thick.
You can't find if you're 2 feet off the fairway, you may not find your ball.
Oh my God.
And it's long, and you have to carry a lot of water. So you got to club up, 3 clubs up, trying to carry water. It's scary.
Yeah, no thanks.
But beautiful course.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. LIV is, okay. I tell people that until they start doing a little bit more with women's golf, I'm not going to care. I think it's good for guys who are obviously better than the average amateur, but not good enough for pro. Because for men's golf, it's so hard to make it on tour. It is so hard.
Yeah.
So I think in that case, it's good. But I mean,
in men's golf, to make real money, you need to be one of the top 30 best players in the world.
Yeah.
It's so difficult
To make money. Yeah.
To be the 100 best male golfer in the world means nothing right now.
No.
Which is crazy because you got to be a phenomenal golfer.
It's so weird because for women, like the pay is so bad for LPGA, but you can kind of get by. But for men's, even if you're like top 100, the pay marginally compared to women's is more, but you can't make that much money because it's so hard. I'm not saying LPGA is easy. Like that's not what I'm saying at all. But PGA is it's just so difficult.
And it's so expensive.
Yes.
There's so much expense involved.
Yeah.
In being a professional golfer.
Yeah. Like, you're traveling, hotels, cars, plane tickets, entry fees enough or like up to like a couple $1,000.
Coaches, trainers.
Yeah. And when you like want those high level coaches, it's like some of them are like $500 an hour. Like my putting coach was pretty expensive. Like more than what I would ever pay. That's why I only see him like once a year.
Is it worth it though?
Yes. Yes. I've shaved off so many strokes playing, like being under.
I need to go see that guy.
It's up at Pinehurst.
Okay.
He's really good. He made me cry last time I played there, but
why?
He's just weird. He's tough, but he's awesome. Like he knows what he's doing. So I just sucked it up and
it's worth dealing with the drama for the results.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just me though.
Yeah.
I don't think for a lot of people it wouldn't be like that.
So you were in Miami for LIV, which was their finale.
Yeah.
Did you have fun?
No.
Why?
To me, I just feel like it's people who are not sophisticated enough to go to an actual PGA event. Like people are smashed when they're there. Like
correct. But it's also Miami.
Yeah.
That's just how Miami is.
Maybe that's what it was.
Miami tends to be, it's the land of the godless. That's what they call it. And they have no professional golf to come over there.
Yeah.
So you bring an event and people are going to have a good time.
Yeah. I mean, people are always talking. People, like, there's music playing all the time.
You didn't like that more. It's a more live atmosphere, a little more party-y.
Yeah. And then I guess because it's like a shotgun start, sometimes I like to wait for a certain player and watch them for an amount of time. But then when it's a shotgun start, you have to like try and find who this person, where they're playing and what time they're, like around what time they're playing. And then you might catch them at the end of it when you probably want to see more. That's why lucky enough living here, we get to see the FedEx Cup. Because I really like that event.
So we have the FedEx Cup and the championship. What do they call it? The golf championship, FedEx Cup Tour Championship.
Yeah.
Down at East Lake. And we also occasionally, not every year, but we have the KPMG come here and do the U.S. Women's PGA, maybe? Is that what it's called? Where they do it here in Johns Creek at Atlanta
it's called
Athletic
the
Club.
KPMG.
KPMG.
Yeah.
Which one would you rather go see? The girls or the men?
The women's.
You'd rather see the women?
Yes, I actually went to go see it when they were at Atlanta Athletic Club.
I think 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. Yeah, when
right down the street from here.
When Nelly won, that was a really good event. Because I've played that course before, so like so it's so interesting to see how they play it, and sometimes like when they mess up, I don't feel as bad for myself. But even the LPGA, you see how different their golf game is when they play that event versus like amateurs playing it.
That's not an easy course there, and they do a good job.
That one,
beautiful course.
It was amazing. I mean, it was so smooth. It was so organized. It was easy to see people. Workers were obviously really nice too.
And the LPGA events, they almost let you get a little bit closer than the PGA events. That's what it feels. And,
I feel like it.
And at East Lake, they let you get pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah. But LPGA is even closer.
Yeah.
Which I've noticed. I thought that was odd.
I feel like that way too. I don't know how to explain it, but I think you can get really close and see them.
Yeah.
And see what they're doing.
Like maybe too close where they'd be like, all right, you need a back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because East Lake's a lot of fun. I've been to the Tour Championship several times also. And I like going during the practice rounds.
Really?
I prefer the practice round over the real round.
Why is that?
Because you get really close. It's not as many people. So you can really get to see what they're working on. It's interesting to see which shots they hit multiple times, what they're practicing, which angles they're looking for, where they're planning on playing. So you can almost see them map out what they want to do.
Yeah, that is true.
Which is kind of, you get to see the psychology of it.
Yeah.
Versus when you're actually there at an event, I mean, they're just doing their best.
Yeah,
But
that
you
is very
miss
true.
the planning part. And
Yeah.
I really like to nerd out to that. You know,
Yeah.
why are they choosing that line? Why is Patrick Cantley, you know, I was there and he was hitting the 7-wood out of the rough, of the left rough. And I was like, why is he dropping 4 balls and hitting the 7-wood here? And then he got to the tournament. He ended up there, hit a 7-wood and hit it to, I don't know, 15 feet for eagle. And I was like, oh, he practiced that. I saw him practice that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's crazy how for those types of players, they know their misses very well.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when you're so consistent and you know your misses, I mean,
And you plan for your misses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you know. Like, obviously, I know my misses. Like, I know where I could potentially be. But then somehow in the course, I'll just end up in a place where it's like, I didn't even know that this place existed. But here I am. Here I am in, like, the back bunker.
Why don't you do more stuff on the internet? You want to become a pro? That's your goal.
Yes.
Why don't you do more online golf content?
I think it's ultimately because I don't know what I'm doing.
Doesn't matter?
A little bit.
I don't think it does.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to put up, like, can I curse?
You can say where the fuck you want.
Okay. I don't want to put up shitty content, like bad camera angles or anything like that. Like, I want to see, if I were to post something online, I want to create art too. Like, I want to put something up where it's like visually very, very pleasing to see, and also like something that's nice to hear too. But I also need to be a little better about it. I just don't really spend that much time on the internet.
I feel like there are, especially locally, there are a lot of people that would love to follow your journey. Yeah. See what you're doing, see what you're working on. Obviously, you have a wonderful swing. You're a lefty, which is interesting itself.
Really?
Are you naturally a lefty, or did you learn how to, I had to know this. Are you naturally a lefty, or did you purposely choose to play golf lefty?
So,
because I saw you drink with your right hand.
I write with my right hand. I line my ball with my left hand actually, but I started playing golf left-handed because my dad would stand in front of me.
And you would mirror him.
I would mirror him because he didn't want me to like swing behind him and then like I get hit. So, and then it just stuck. Like I think my dad had bought me right-handed clubs, but then I would just switch them over, hit it left-handed, and he's like, okay, well, she's left-handed. I can't do anything anymore.
But you're not lefty.
No, I do everything right-handed.
Do you think, because I had this theory that people who play golf with their opposite hand are better golfers?
They power the ball a lot further than other people.
Because their strong hand is forward.
Yeah, you can like get shifted away.
And your dominant eye is in front of the ball instead of trying to peek at from behind the ball.
I can see how that makes sense.
Like if you're playing baseball, you want to see from your dominant eye towards the ball because you see the ball better. You don't have to turn your head. If you're a golfer, you can look down and see the ball versus if I'm looking with the other eye, then you kind of turn away.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I'm left eye dominant. So like when I shoot with the laser, I use my left eye.
So you're cross eye dominant.
Yeah. I'm all sorts of messed up.
You're all kinds of everywhere.
Yeah. But I think there's studies that have shown that when you're swinging the opposite direction of your dominant hand, you actually hit the ball further and you're more lack for a better word, more athletic. Because I have friends. My friend from Georgia Tech, Aiden, he's left-handed, but he plays golf right-handed, and he hits the ball so far. And so straight too.
I always heard that Phil Mickelson is righty.
Yeah.
But he plays golf lefty.
Yeah.
That Tiger Woods originally learned how to play golf lefty as well. Because
he's left-handed?
No, because he was mirroring his dad.
Oh, really?
Most kids end up mirroring their dad to learn how to swing, and they mimic.
Yeah.
So everyone learns cross-handed.
Yeah.
And then at some point later in life, you have to make a decision. Am I going to switch back, or am I going to stay where I'm going? And you stayed that lefty path.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I've also heard stories of people who like switch the direction like sometime during their career, and they start hitting the ball so much further and straighter.
Can you play righty?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Have you tried?
I've tried to hit some shots, and they're definitely not bad.
Okay.
But not good enough to where, like, all right, let's play some 9 holes with the swing.
Yeah,
no.
yeah. You're not going to compete.
No.
But you're going to play a full round if you had to.
No.
What if you played 9 holes of golf? What do you think you would shoot?
Like
opposite-handed.
Like 20 over.
That's pretty damn good.
You think so? I don't think I can get over the water though.
I think there's a lot of people watching go, fuck, I wish I could do that with my strong hand.
I've never tried, so I don't know. But I don't know if you've seen this, but I also know some players who, like, for example, they play golf right-handed, but they putt left-handed.
Really?
It's so odd. I thought about it. I would get a headache because, you know, I have like a natural tilt a certain way, but then you see like a putt this way. Like, I don't know.
I guess it's similar as some people golf, you know, or putt left hand low versus right hand low. So, I mean, what's the difference there then, you know? Because I think it's weird when people putt right hand low. It's so weird for me.
I putt cross-handed.
See? What's the difference then?
Oh, less wrist movement. I don't know. I would think less wrist movement.
You're the pro, not me. I'm just trying to get in the hole eventually. You know?
Yeah.
So I think you should start doing more stuff online. I think I'd be interested. I think there's a lot of people that'd be interested. You know, and I think you're overthinking it.
You know, I actually wanted to start a podcast for a long time.
You should do it.
This
is a lot of fun.
I know.
We've been talking for well over an hour, almost an hour and a half.
Really?
Yeah. It just went by.
I love podcasts. Like, I listen to it. I think it's fun. Like, I love sitting down and talking.
You should do it. You can start talking to other girls on the collegiate tour.
Yeah.
Hearing their stories. Or you can do one about your life at UNLV.
I think that will cause a lot of controversy.
Why?
Just kidding.
You can do whatever you want, you know?
Yeah, I want to. I mean, I just have to think about equipment and all this stuff.
Don't think.
Really?
Just do. You can start with anything.
Yeah, I could.
You know? Yeah. I think, because I've been messing around with various forms of like social media and content online for many years now. And what I tell everyone is just do it. You'll figure it out. And the reality is, in the beginning, no one's watching anyway.
Yeah.
So that's the best time to figure your shit out.
Yeah.
You know? And as you grow, you naturally learn, and people appreciate the journey. And they like being a part of it.
Yeah.
Especially when you're someone with a story like you are. You know? You're you're smart, you're fun, you're very positive. You know? You have a certain level of confidence. I can't believe you're 18, 19, which is just mind-blowing. And I'm sure a lot of people are like, no, wait, what? They're thinking that can't be true. It is.
Yeah.
You are so mature for your age. I thought that the first time I saw you at the range, and you were just so well spoken, and I think you can do whatever you want to do.
You know, thank you for saying that, because I really do want to start a podcast because I love talking to people. I love hearing other people's stories. And I also just like having stupid conversations. I think that stuff is so much fun.
Yeah.
I already have a mic specific, like, because I actually like was pretty close to starting one. I just don't know like the technical sides of like mixing. But know. We figure it out.
It's easy. It's
Really?
so easy. Yeah. The technology side of it, you'll figure out in a couple days.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And after this, I'll walk you through whatever you need to know.
Really?
No problem. Yeah, of course.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's the easy part. The hard part is just doing the first one. That's the hardest one.
Starting?
Getting over the fact that no one cares.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just be like, no one gives a fuck, and I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
And once you take that mentality, you can do anything.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I'm starting to realize since I got to college, because I used to have like a problem where I never had a problem of what others thought of me. Like that was never an issue. I think it was just I was scared to taint my image because I wanted to pursue golf. But then I started meeting like some LPGA pros like Danielle Kang, who like curses like a sailor. But everyone knows she's a great golfer and she's like a very nice person anyways, so it doesn't matter. So I think like starting college, I realized that I actually need to stop caring like how people perceive me.
You gotta be you.
Yeah.
And
I can't hide it anyways.
Yeah. You put yourself out into the universe with positivity and people will return it. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if anyone watches, doesn't watch. Don't worry about what people are thinking. Do what you want to do. And the more genuine you are, I think the more people will be attracted to it.
Oh,
I think you can do it.
I
think it'd be a lot of fun. I would listen. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I'd be very interested in your journey. You know, like if I was a female collegiate golfer, or if I was a golfer, period, not the hacker that I am. If I was a real golfer, you know, I would probably, every time I go to the range, I'll take 50 videos of swings that I take. And every day I would drop 1 to 3 videos of me swinging the golf club, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like on schedule. Because after a while, people are like, huh, you just become a part of their life.
Yeah.
You know? And like, oh, something's different, something's right. And then all of a sudden, you're like, oh, I competed today. And like, it went well. And we're like, oh, fuck, awesome. I'm so happy for her.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you become interested in the journey, what's going on. And it takes nothing to do that. You record your swing anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I still have to do that. Yeah. I think I've kind of realized that because people, it's so weird with college when you see people who are really good, but they struggle getting sponsorships. The difference between them and people who are like, okay, but they get so many sponsorships is because of that, like online presence. Like,
but from a sponsor perspective, that makes sense.
yeah,
You want the person that is actively promoting themselves, actively promoting their brand and your brand.
Yeah.
Because that's why you hire someone to sponsor them.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of both. You know, you have to play the game a little bit, but at the same time, you don't have to do content for the sake of doing content. Do stuff you enjoy.
Yeah.
You know, and that will build a following of people that actually care.
Yeah.
You know, versus people that just, you know, are irrelevant information. You know, yeah, people like to follow journeys and be a part of the story, and they want to see, okay, how does the story end up in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years?
Yeah, I kind of regret not making like a golf account specifically. My buddy, he had his golf account has more followers than his main account because he started it when he was like 14, like committing to Georgia Tech before he got to college, and that's what people knew him as. And then, you know, like so many people know who he is. Like, wish I
don't
had that,
overthink it.
but
You don't need multiple accounts. You don't need to do this. This is just who I am. This is what I do. I like to give interesting ideas on various topics. I have a podcast I really enjoy doing. I love to play golf. And I really don't like to lose. And that's it.
yeah.
You know? And if you put it out there, people will be interested. I truly believe it. All right, last question. Have you ever been to the Masters?
When I was 8.
Woo.
But I don't remember.
Not haven't been back since.
No.
Why?
It's just kind of hard to get tickets, is
It's
it
so
not?
impossible, isn't it?
It's like, I don't like people who go to the Masters. all have connections to getting tickets.
Yeah.
I just don't know people to get in. Like, I just don't know.
I don't know either. I want to go. I've never been.
I mean, and it's like legitimate lottery. Like, you
I
have
lose
to be.
every year. And every year I sign up and I call my cousins, I call all my friends, and I say, everybody, today's the day. Get to your computer. We're signing for the Masters. And with me doing that and asking tens of 20s and hundreds of people, I still have
Just
yet
can't.
to get a ticket. Never. I
can't
don't
even
even know if that ticket's real.
Is it a real place?
I'm pretty sure I've seen it on TV every damn year. And
You
every
know-
year I'm going, damn, I wish I was there.
You know, they say like birds just don't exist at Masters.
It's all pumped in.
They think it's like, there are people who legitimately think like there are speakers. Like,
There are speakers.
no, speakers of like just birds chirping.
There are birds chirping in the speakers.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, birds just don't exist.
Well, there's birds, but they pump in the park type sound in order to give it that pleasant, calm experience.
You're
on
so
TV.
serious.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Oh my God.
Everything about the Masters, from every blade of grass to where people stand to what people are allowed to say to the whole thing is manufactured.
Oh my
And in a weird utopian way, it's kind of awesome.
You know,
It's got such a long history.
Yeah.
It's the only event that's at the same place every year.
yeah.
And it changes so subtly every year.
You really?
Yeah, they change the layout a little bit, or they change, maybe they'll move like one tree, or they'll move
Really?
this. They micro changes constantly.
But it makes a difference though.
And it makes a difference because
Yeah.
they're so particular about exactly which tree,
Yeah.
for exactly which line of sight,
Yeah.
and which flower bed is gonna be, the angle that you take. It's so much
Yeah.
involved that I think that's so fascinating because it's only one that's always the same, but yet it's always different.
Yeah.
And I feel like I know every inch of that course because I've been watching it for so long, but yet I've never been there.
You gotta.
Actually-
I feel like out of everyone, you would know.
How about this? If you ever get to play in the women's amateur,
Yeah.
they play there.
The Anwa.
Uh-huh.
I'll take you.
Take me.
Yeah.
We got a deal.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You got it. I mean, I gotta fight for my life to qualify.
Yeah,
But
that's a tough event to get into.
yeah, I think if you make it top 200 get the invite list.
And
For
then
sure.
of that, 70 get to play, 100 get to play.
I think there's like a certain amount of internationals that they need to have, and then from there it's like the amount of Americans that get in.
But you technically have 4 years to try to get in. 3 years,
Yeah.
4 years,
Yeah.
4
pretty much.
seasons of giving it a go through the to the tournament ranks.
Yeah, just win US Am once, and then I think I'll be good to go. Saying it like it's so easy.
Just
Yeah.
show up.
Yeah, just show up and play.
Yeah,
just,
that's it.
just be better at golf.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
This was a lot of fun. I really wish you the best in your college career.
Thank you.
I think you're going to be a phenomenal golfer. I'm really excited to hear your new podcast. I'm just excited for that.
I will start on it. Since I will declare it here, I will be starting one.
Awesome.
Now I have to commit to it now.
You do. And we'll put all the links for it in the description so that we can go find it later. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.